All right, what's up, YouTube? Quick video here because I just gotta address this. Um, like me and my mom, we just got done with church. She's going out run some errands, and then she just brings up, I forget what we were talking about, but she said, "Yeah, the gas restriction or the water restrictions," and I was just like, "Dude, there's no way, water restrictions." And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, dude, this is literally like a simulation. There's no way she just said water restrictions. And if you hear that, you might be like, oh, it's just water restrictions, like California has those all the time. Places where it's like it hasn't been raining, they have water restrictions or whatever. But it immediately clicked in my head because if you know anything about what's going on, the very first thing that popped in my head, I was like, dude, this is all happening. And you know where I'm going with this. The data centers. Now, what do the data centers use? As soon as I found this out, it was like a red flag went off because I was hearing things about data centers, and then I heard they require a bunch of water and electricity, obviously. So right when I heard that, like a red flag went off. Kind of like if you have a girl that's like, oh, I'm going to the club with my guy friend. It's like you should have it immediately red flag go off like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm like, dude, no, you're not. You're not coming back to me if you're doing that. Red flag immediately. That same type of red flag went off when I found out these data centers use a bunch of water because, hello, people need water to survive, like human beings. So I literally was like, whoa, 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 red flag. Data centers need a bunch of water to power this, need a bunch of electricity. So then I'm thinking in my head, okay, data centers need a lot of water. Who voted on these data centers? Because no one asked for it, no one voted for it. I didn't vote for it. My mother and father didn't vote for it. My brother, my sister, like my cousin, my coworker, my anyone I could think of, nobody voted or consented to any of this data center crap. And the significance is why this water rationing, well, it's already begun. The typical person, my mom and, sister and things like that. Maybe it's just a woman in general. I don't know. They're not big into like conspiracy, like that type of thing. They're just like, whatever. But like people like me, who I'm like, I live for that type of stuff, like digging deep, like we know what time it is. And when she says, oh, there's water rationings, I've never had a water rationing in my life. So it's just like there's all these different things all coming together where I think it all happened during the whole COVID, because that was literally the first time where it was like the entire world was telling you, you can't do this, or you can't go here, or you have to have this in order to do that. That type of thing is like, it's just total control. And when you understand what's coming and what these elites have planned, you understand it's all about control. They already have this. They don't need any more money. That's what people don't understand. None of this is about money. They already have it all and they print it. This is about control and power, energy harvesting. This is about controlling the populace. They already sacrifice children. They sacrifice children. They do all these disgusting satanic rituals. But what would really give them a lot of power is obviously they have power over the little children victims that they can't defend themselves. They want power over all. They want power over all the world. And the closest we got to that was the whole pandemic scam, where the richest people in the world got richer, the middle class got destroyed, and the poor got poorer. This is all part of the plan. So when I'm thinking in my head, I'm just like, all right, I've lived here. I'm like in the Carolinas for basically my whole life. We've never had a water restriction ever. So now there's water restrictions. They're wanting us to ration because there's a drought, and it's just like people could say, oh, it's a coincidence. I'm just like, dude, when you know what's going on, like either way you put it, actually, if it's, oh, the data centers need more water, therefore that's why we're having to do water restrictions and water rations or whatever. If you want to come with that perspective, okay. But then even if you want to go with the other perspective of, oh no, you're not having water restrictions because the data centers, that's a conspiracy. Like that's just no. But they do need a lot of water. And then it just becomes like, okay, well, why are you doing that? Why are you prioritizing that? If if we're having water restrictions due to droughts or whatever, what on earth are you doing building all these data centers that need a lot of water? That means you're literally prioritizing these dorky, weird tech billionaire data centers that are just for all this AI garbage that's literally going to be used to enslave us all, by the way. It's going to be used, they're going to store all our data there. They're going to store every single thing you say online. And then when the digital ID comes, which by the way, the king of the world, whatever his name is, King Charles, he literally just announced they're doing the digital ID. So are conspiracy theorists still conspiracy theorists, or are we once again just ahead of the curve? And the significance with these data centers or the digital ID is they could say, all right, you're not getting on Twitter, Instagram, any of these things, which maybe that's good anyway to do a social media detox, but that's beside the point. You're not getting on any of these social media platforms without digital ID, because we need to know who you are and what you're posting, whatever. Like me, I'm not anonymous anyway, but the point is, it's the ability to control and track and then punish every single human who is using technology. And then here's the thing. If you're not using technology, you're going to be pushed out of society. That's the significance with the digital currency. If you're old school, you're like cash, whatever, you only have cash or whatever. And they say, we don't take that anymore. They're already doing it with pennies. Oh, we don't take pennies anymore. We'll round up, or I hope they're rounding up, not down, or whatever helps the customer more. But either way, you get the point. They're already taking the penny out of circulation. What happens when they take the dollar out of circulation? You see where I'm headed with it? This is all like, it would be one thing if just like one standalone thing happened. Dude, it's all correlated. It's all working in congruence together with the New World Order and Agenda 2030. It's not a conspiracy anymore. This is happening. Now, with me, well, I was so mind blown because I'm just like, there's so much stuff going on. Gas prices, like this war, like all this AI, robotics, the job market's terrible, all this stuff. It impacting my personal life. DoorDash, I can't do it as profitable because gas, whatever. And then my mom was just like, I just found out literally just now, oh, water restrictions. And the only thing that clicks in my head is the data centers. For the average typical person, the normie, that's not gonna click to them. They're just gonna be like, what? But when you understand very simply that the data centers require a lot of water, and they're just recently being built, And now we're having water restrictions due to water rations, like water shortages. I just don't think that's a coincidence, because I also know what's coming. These data centers, this is straight out of the movie Terminator, dude. Like, that's what is being built out, Skynet. When you combine Palantir, which is the mass surveillance state that's going to track and monitor everybody, sort of like China's doing now. Oh, what, didn't Trump just go to China? I wonder what they were discussing over there. So you have the data centers, you have the digital ID, you have literal, like, this is straight out of Terminator, dude. They're building out Skynet. That's what the data centers are. Awake people with discernment like me, we could see exactly what's happening. We're ahead of the curve. And then I asked my mom, just a hypothetical, I said, okay, I mean, I understand that, but like, I don't want to get too deep with her, because it's just, it's a time and place for things. You got to read the room. You got to know, like, who to talk about certain things with. Others may not be wanting to hear about it, whatever. It's all good. But I just said, and like, what's your thoughts if they just said the restrictions are no longer temporary? Like, this is the new normal. Like, this is what I'm saying. All of this crap, it's all about a new normal. And like, I'm telling you, like, 20 years ago, like when I was growing up in middle school, maybe it has to do with the social media and all this, but there was literally, like, it was just this feeling of like, oh, it's normal. Like, we live in a really effed up world, but it's not like there's no public, like, obvious reasons to be a conspiracy theorist. Now it's like, dude, I think the conspiracy theorists, like, we are the standard of truth. Like, we're literally, what's really going on in the world is this, what I'm talking about. It's not whatever stupid nonsense they're talking about on Fox News or CNN or any of this. They just do, they control the media to keep it all distracted and dumbed down. The same is true with sports. Hey, dude, I love basketball. I love playing sports or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's an absolute distraction from what's really going on. They keep people drunk at the games. They sell alcohol. They keep people dumbed down, distracted with the sports, so they don't wake up and they don't realize what's really going on. Then when they hear, oh, there's water rations, there's water restrictions now, it's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just fall in line. I guess I'll just obey the government. Even when they violate your rights, they start doing all this just invasion of your privacy, limiting your freedoms, limiting your rights. Like, dude, water's like, I don't know how rights work and all that, really. I just think, like, dude, water's a human right. Like, you should have the right to clean drinking water. Like that, it's just whatever. I don't want to get too deep with this. I don't want to make this too long. All I'm saying is, water, I'm about to turn that hose on right now and just spray myself, dude, because enjoy the water while it lasts. I don't even know if it's a water restriction. What are they going to do if it's, oh, they're saying, oh, you could only do it on Mondays and Wednesdays or whatever. What if I do it on a Tuesday? What if I do it on, are they going to come? Can they track the water where it's coming from? And they're going to come and say, oh, this house was using water on the day you weren't allowed to. We're going to arrest you. Like, dude, this is insanity. This wasn't normal. Just even when I was growing up, 20, it definitely probably wasn't normal 50 years ago, but this is all happening now. Like, this is here. The New World Order, the Agenda 2030. And the craziest thing about it all is when you know about the data centers and how much water they use. I'll pose the dilemma right now. There's two options. Either the data centers are literally already taking all the water, so they're stealing it from our sources. So these weird, dorky billionaires, tech people that want to push all this technocracy, garbage trash on everyone, forcing it down their throats without our consent. all the water's going to that instead of human beings who need the water. We pay for freaking water, and you're telling us now we have to restrict. It's like, this is bull crap. Or the other option is these droughts, yeah, they're all real, and we just got to ration water, whatever, because of a restriction. And the data centers, they're not causing the restriction, but then it's obvious they still need a bunch of water. So even it's like either side, it's the data centers are evil. They're not, we don't need them. We don't want them. They're stealing our water, they're stealing our resources, and they're prioritizing that trash over actual literal human beings. I mean, this is insanity, but it's already begun. So I talked about the gas. I'll go off and, live my life and then start making like dating videos, finance, whatever. But this type of content, bless me, is the most this is the most important type of content, dude, because you need to be prepared. You just need to be prepared for what's coming. I'll do more videos like this. No sunglasses gain. If you know, you know. I'm strengthening my everything with the sunlight. But dude, it's just like there's water rations where I'm at. Are they where you're at? And do you feel like it's like not a coincidence? Do you feel like it's not actually because you're in a drought? It's literally because of the data centers. Maybe it could be a coincidence. I don't know, but I know what's coming, dude. The data centers, literally, and I'm just being honest. I shed a tear the other day because I was watching this video, and it's just like, dude, you're seeing God's nature, God's creation being destroyed once again by Babylon, by the data centers. Like, dude, you'll see a nice field. There's no more peace. I mean, I'm thankful for where I live, but I prefer to be in the country because it's so peaceful. When I go out there, I'm just like, this is so peaceful. It's so beautiful. It's God's natural creation. And then you see this nasty, ugly, stupid data center being built, and you're just like, dude, this is just awful. This is Satan's world. This is Satan's new world order that he's building out he's working through these elites. You know what I mean? It's a spiritual realm. We battle not against flesh. We battle against spiritual wickedness in high places. So Satan rules this world. He's in charge of all this data center garbage. Satan doesn't like God's beautiful creation. When you go to the beach and you feel amazing because you're in God's nature, or you go submerge yourself into the woods or something, the mountains, whatever, you can breathe better. There's no pollution. You get what I'm saying? God is superior in every way. Satan doesn't like that. That's why he wants to destroy all of nature and bring in this dystopian hell of cities and pollution, and which brings along crime and all this. Everything's worse about being the antithesis of Christ and God. Its nature is of God. The cities are of Satan. So in nature, how much crime is there? It's not. You're chilling in nature, dude. I'm chilling. In cities, it's just everyone's cortisol spiked. Your stress is increased. Your relaxation is not lowered. You know what I mean? Your relaxation, your endorphins, dopamine, all this stuff, it's increased when you're just getting sunlight in nature, relaxing. The data centers are literally destroying that and simultaneously building out the enslavement grid where we're all tracked and monitored like in Black Mirror and like in the freaking movies that predicted this was all coming, because they tell you ahead of time anyway. So pay attention to what's going on. They're saying water restrictions in my area, and I'm just like, dude, another thing. First is gas, then is water. It's gonna be everything, dude. We're just rationing, dude. This is the new world order. This is the end, and that's what you have to be prepared for. I'm about to spray this water all over me and defy these water restrictions, because water is a human right. We all deserve water, at least over the data centers, for God's sakes. Don't be prioritizing data centers, having water when there's millions of human beings without clean drinking water. How about focus on that? You demonic, satanic filth. But they'll never do it because that's part of their plan. That's why followers of truth, followers of Christ, like me, like us over here, we got to speak truth to power. Jesus Christ is king. Water, I don't know what hashtag to use or something. Free the water, dude. Free the water.